Welcome to the Brian Craig Show podcast. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. The Brian Craig Show podcast is brought to you by Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing, who will never sell you a roof you do not need. Online at laportaroofing.com. Okay, so we've had these confirmation hearings going on the last few days, and of course, Trump's people have just done spectacular. In fact, the way that Pam Bondi and Pete Hegseth handled these low-life Democrat senators is the best I've ever seen anyone in any confirmation hearing handle these things. It's amazing. But I've been following these confirmation hearings since I was a kid. I used to watch these things when I was a kid. I was always interested in government and stuff. And there's always one jerk that stands out, okay? There's always one low-life jerk that stands out. I'll give you an example. And it can lead to great things, right? The most recent one before this stuff here was Kavanaugh. And remember who the big standout was during Kavanaugh?
No, I don't.
Kamala. Remember, she was on. She's the defender of women and doing all this. In fact, that's kind of like the first time I really knew of her, right? I mean, I didn't really know who she was until then. During the Clarence Thomas confirmation hearings, it was Biden, who was just filled with nastiness. And I was talking about one on the morning show today. There was this senator from Hawaii, this guy who was comparing Oliver North to a Nazi during the Iran-Contra hearings to his face. It was disgusting. But this week, the low-life scumbag Democrat senator of this decade is this Mazie Hirono, the senator lady from Hawaii. She is just a sick, twisted weirdo, okay? And she pulled something today which is one of the biggest this is really saying a lot, okay? Because members of Congress are the scummiest people in America. There's no one scummier than a member of Congress. The House is usually worse than the Senate. The Senate, they usually put themselves up on a pedestal of something special. But this Hirono is out of both houses. And you got to keep in mind, she's up there with Adam Schiff, okay? She's scummier than even Adam Schiff is right now. Adam Schiff's done some stuff, but he's not been doing too much these days, right? He fell asleep, passed out, probably drunk yesterday, but he fell asleep during the hearing. Hirono, what she did today to Burgum was insane to me. I mean, she is just, Congress makes the laws, so they make the laws so that they can break the laws, right? They make the illegal legal. When a member of Congress is on the floor of Congress and they do anything no matter what they say, they can't be held accountable for it. They can't slander, they can't libel, they can't do anything. And Doug Burgum, who's as normal of a nice guy as you can get, the Pete Hegseth, his womanizing that he did. Okay, there's a couple things about Pete Hegseth. First, his first wife was his high school girlfriend. No one should, in my opinion, you probably shouldn't marry your high school girlfriend. That's too young. And then you got a guy, he gets out of high school. What happens, right? He joins the Army. He gets in perfect physical condition. And he gets so, I take testosterone therapy. His testosterone is probably higher than mine, that I'm getting testosterone injections, right? And this guy comes back from war. He's good looking. He's full of testosterone, and he starts to get a little famous. I'm not approving of what he did, but when you're with your high school girlfriend, these kind of things happen. It's too young to get married to somebody from high school. But anyway, Doug Burgum, he's up there in the...
well, the thing is, none of these senators should be passing judgment on him.
Oh, they're lowlives.
Because they're all lowlives. Like that one senator said, they show up drunk and vote, and they should be asking him questions about Russia, China, the Ukraine, not about his sex life or his illegitimate children or his drinking habits or anything like that. They look like pure scum doing it because that's what they do.
Well, let me play this clip.
It's all projection.
This is Hirono today.
Well, I wanted to show you this about her background too.
Okay, what's it? What you want to share with me?
Read it. That's from Wikipedia. Because I know nothing about her other than she's a witch.
Maisie Hirono, she is a witch. Senator Hirono, she is a witch.
Yeah, that's all I know about her.
It says that she's of Japanese descent. She's a lawyer, a politician.
No, I just had it pulled up for you to read.
Yeah, it's her Wikipedia.
Yeah, read the first paragraph.
Japanese name, born November 1947, an American lawyer and politician, serving since 2013 as the junior United States Senator from Hawaii, a member of the Democratic Party. She previously served as a member of the House.
No, bring it up.
Yeah, what is it you wanted me to? Is there something?
You clicked the wrong thing, I guess.
Oh, okay. Okay, Kathy. Okay, Kathy pulled up the part. This is nuts.
Okay, the reason why is because when somebody
this is nuts.
Is an a-hole, there's usually a reason.
Okay.
Here it is.
This is insane. Okay, Senator Hirono, she's the one that's getting all nasty, and I've even played the Bergam thing she did today, right? She was born in 1947, not in Hawaii of Japanese descent. She was actually born in Japan in 1947.
That's right. So at least we know she can never be president.
Her father is a World War II veteran, but a veteran of the Japanese army.
That's right.
And you know that
they killed Americans.
That not only did they kill Americans, the Japanese army were cutting the heads off Americans in the Bataan Death March.
And this is the woman representing Hawaii.
There was a book that I had to read in college. It was unbelievable. It's called the Rape of Nanching. The Japanese not only raped every woman, every female of every age in Nanching, they made them have sex with their children and grandchildren. Okay,
not only that, but
they're a bad army.
That's bad. But what's really interesting because I know she's from Hawaii and she's Japanese,
she's from Japan.
I thought that was interesting. Japan bombed Hawaii,
attacked Hawaii.
Okay, in 1941. And then she was born 6 years later, and her family moved to Hawaii.
It's crazy.
So they moved to the state that they bombed and destroyed, and that's where she comes from.
Yeah.
That's her lineage.
It's like having...
Okay, that tells you, all you need to know.
It's like,
she probably has an uncle that was a kamikaze pilot.
It's like having the daughter of an Al-Qaeda member, one of the, being the senator from New York.
Or having the daughter of Himmler.
Yeah, exactly. So
better example.
So her father's a World War II veteran, but a veteran of the Japanese army that were cutting off American heads.
Yeah, and then they moved to Hawaii that they bombed. Not that 10 years later.
Maybe Hirono is still fighting the Second World War.
My question is, why would the people of Hawaii elect this woman that her father... was on the country that bombed their state.
Because the Japanese have taken over Hawaii.
I was in Hawaii in 1990. That was the only time I've been there. I went to Honolulu for a week with my family, and we went to Pearl Harbor. I went with my sister there and my brother, and it was incredible. It is worth a trip just to see Pearl Harbor because Hawaii's boring. I thought it was like Fort Lauderdale, where I grew up.
With mountains.
It looks just like Fort Lauderdale with mountains. That's what it was. It was very touristy, very tropical, but it was beautiful. But Pearl Harbor is amazing. It's moving. And I got to tell you, when I was at Pearl Harbor, it's huge. And then you go over this mountain and there's the cemetery. It's very sad. I would say it was the tourists there, 75% Japanese. And I could not get over this. And I looked at my dad. My dad served in the National Guard. And, I said, Dad, there's so many Japanese people here. I was 20 years old. I was pretty young. Yeah. He said, I know. He said, it's a bunch of bullshit, isn't it? That's what he said to me. I said, I just can't believe it. They're here looking at they had kamikaze torpedoes that they actually took out of the water that you could look at and see inside what it was like, that the pilots would go in and steer into hit those ships. And they're looking at it and sitting in them and taking pictures with them. And it was insulting. It was so upsetting. And that's where she comes from. And I can't believe that the Hawaiians elected this woman whose father was fought for the country that was attacking us.
Yeah. And
she's a psycho.
The reason the Japanese go to Hawaii as tourists is they want to see what their grandfathers did. Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
they don't feel sad. They feel pride.
Yeah. And,
she's a sicko.
The fact that she was born in Japan and that her father was in the Japanese army, during the Second World War is pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
I think it's horrific.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. So,
and she's Buddhist,
and she's also nasty. So here she is today. We have this.
Does she seem like a Buddhist to you? Aren't they supposed to be nice people?
She seems like something. I'll tell you that.
I mean, she is.
So here
person.
She is talking to Doug Burgum today, who is a nice guy, right? And he's in his hearing, and listen to what she does. The question she asks, she is. I'm going to have to try. Maybe she's not sick and twisted. Maybe she's still fighting the Second World War for the Japanese. You know what I mean? Let me play this. Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome. As part of my responsibilities to ensure the fitness of nominees before any of the committees on which I sit, I asked the following 2 initial questions. First is, since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests for sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual nature?
No, Senator, I have not.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement related to this kind of conduct?
I have not.
Oh, my gosh.
So she goes in with this question in such a negative way, which implies that there is some scandal, even though there isn't. He's denied it, but what are you supposed to do? I mean, I wouldn't even want to answer such a question. Let me tell you something here. This is a country of immigrants, no doubt about it, okay? And we're all the children of immigrants. If you go back far enough, the first lady's an immigrant, Elon Musk is an immigrant. We got no problem with immigrants. But sometimes there are immigrants who become the enemy within. They game the system. They become U.S. citizens. They work their way into power. And if you look, I give you an example. Look at Kamala Harris and Barack Obama. You know, now both of her parents are foreigners, right? Mm-hmm. Neither of them was U.S. citizens. They give birth to her, and look at the destruction she's been causing, right? How many people she put in prison when they're kids? You know, you look at Obama. His dad, an immigrant, was here on a student visa, communist, and look at how Obama, how much damage he's done to the country. People, they come here and they transplant their children here to carry on this mission of destroying this country. And if you look at a lot of what's going on in this, and I hate to say this because I know what it sounds like, guys, but you think about it, you know, immigrants aren't bad. But what happens is the enemies of America use our love of diversity and acceptance of immigrants against us.
They take advantage of it.
They take advantage of it, and it's a strength and it's a weakness.
Yes,
because in Japan, if you were the child of an American World War II veteran, you would never make your way into the Japanese parliament. It just wouldn't happen over there. But over here, we're a very diverse country, so it can happen. Okay, and they use that weakness against us to infiltrate our system, infiltrate our bureaucracy, infiltrate our government, infiltrate our universities. Look at all these.
This is a woman that hates America, and her father killed Americans.
And look at all these Iranian professors that are stirring up trouble at the universities in New York when Israel's attacked. You know, I'm not against immigrants. I'm not saying diversity is bad. I'm just saying that the enemies of America use that to attack us.
Who was it, one of Trump's picks, that said they want to defund any university that promotes anti-American propaganda? One of his picks said that they want to stop giving money to these universities, particularly the Ivy Leagues, that have classes and teach kids anti-American rhetoric.
Yeah, I can't remember which one said it. Now, Trump.
That's a good idea.
President Trump made an announcement today. Listen to this. This is pretty cool. This is on Truth Social. It is my honor to announce John Voight, Mel Gibson. I'm so glad Mel Gibson's back now. You know, they canceled him with the Passion of the Christ and that DUI thing he had in Malibu. It is my honor to announce John Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone
my gosh.
Listen to that. I know. To be special ambassadors to a great but very troubled place, Hollywood, California. They will serve as special envoys to me for the purpose of bringing Hollywood, which has lost much business over the last 4 years to foreign countries, back bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. These three very talented people will be my eyes and ears And I will get done what they suggest. It will, again, be like the United States of America itself, the golden age of Hollywood.
Oh, that is going to flip out
and
the left.
What he's talking about is...
That's a great idea, though.
There's...
the wokeness.
I heard an interview with Harrison Ford a few months ago. I think it was on Conan O'Brien's podcast. And he said the only production that goes on in Hollywood is talk shows and game shows. There's no movies or television being produced in Hollywood. You know, everything's done in Canada or,
the unions, I think, have done that.
Asia and everywhere else. And it's been done for a lot of reasons. You know, the first time I noticed this is about 15 years ago. They did this awful remake of Red Dawn. And the remake, instead of the Soviet Union, China invaded the United States. But China had so much juice in Hollywood, they had them go in to this movie with digital effects and change all the Chinese logos to North Korean logos.
Crazy.
For the movie.
Right.
And
well, look at John Cena.
And John Cena had to apologize for saying Taiwan is Taiwan and on Chinese state television. So the Muslim world, the Chinese, the Canadians, and others have stolen all of our Hollywood work. There's no work in Hollywood anymore. So this is a good thing, and I'm very excited about that. Now I want to take
and those are three heavy hitters.
Oh, big time! I want to take our first break, and I've been telling you guys this week about Mike Lindell's My Cross. You know, today is the anniversary of Mike Lindell's sobriety. I got an email from his office today about this. I was talking about the My Cross that he's offering. The same cross that Mike Lindell wears, he is offering that cross with the necklace for sale at mypillow.com. It's called the My Cross. There's a version for men and women. The exact one that Mike Lindell wears is the male version. And the discount on this is incredible. With our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Now, the crosses are not sold as a set. They're sold separately. So if you just want the male cross, if you just want the female cross, okay? The MyPillow My Crosses, just like Mike Lindell wears, with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, is $75 off and free shipping. And that's $75 off of each one. So if you buy both, it's $150 off and free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout. That's pretty amazing, isn't it, Kathy? $75 off the Mike Lindell cross. It's at mypillow.com. That's with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and free shipping. We'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Philip Appleton. I'm a chiropractic physician. Over the years, I've treated thousands and thousands of patients from bursitis, tendinitis, sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, tears, post-surgery, pre-surgery, herniated disc, gout, bone on bone. If you can name the pain, most likely I've treated over the years. Most of my practice is laser with robotic lasers. They're robots which rotates constantly around the area, where most lasers do not do that. So if you want to come in for a free consultation, as always here, welcome at Appleton Chiropractic. I'm here 6 days a week. I personally do all the treatment. You can bring your MRIs, you can bring your x-rays, you can bring your CAT scans, whatever you have to bring for me to look at, I would do that free of charge.
Call Dr. Appleton right now for that free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. Introducing Solid Cyber. Solid Cyber partner with UK businesses to protect, defend, and secure organizations against cyber threats. Solid Cyber is currently offering a free cybersecurity audit aligned with the UK Cyber Essentials scheme to all new customers. Visit their website, solidcyber.co.uk to get started. solidcyber.co.uk. Dominate New Year's with FitFusion.DIY, the ultimate destination for all your home gym needs. FitFusion.DIY offer a wide variety of high-quality fitness equipment and accessories, ranging from floor mats and dumbbell sets to treadmills and lifting machines. Whether you're looking for a complete home gym setup or just a few essential pieces of equipment, FitFusion.DIY have everything you need to get in shape and stay fit. Visit FitFusion.DIY and get 15% off your first order with the code New Year New You. FitFusion.DIY.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast. Broadcasting from sunny South Florida, Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. You know, if you were on CNN or any of these things and you mentioned that Senator Hirono's father was in the Japanese army in the Second World War, they would have meltdowns. They'd be calling you racist.
He was a gambler and a drunk. And the mom left him. Her family came over and opened bathhouses.
Yes.
The bathhouses are big in Japan.
I don't think the same kind of bathhouses that we're familiar with in San Francisco. I think like Japanese bathhouses where they actually bathe.
Those are
not
really
like
big.
sex places.
Right, those are big in Japan. You see them in anime a lot. And
I would never go to one of those.
But this was like, early in the mid-century, whatever. Her grandparents came over. They all came over after the war. Isn't that nice?
After they lost.
That they bomb Hawaii and then they come over and try to benefit off of the American freedom. And then now she's here hating Americans, particularly white men. She's totally unhinged.
And
that's just so ironic. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just, the irony is just incredible.
It's insane. So on CNN, they were Scott Jennings was on. They were talking about Biden and his farewell, and Scott Jennings brought up. Is it Scott Jennings on CNN?
Yes.
What's the name of the guy on Jeopardy? What's that Jennings? There's two Jennings, and I keep getting them confused.
I don't watch Jeopardy.
Okay, Scott Jennings is the one from CNN. The guy on Jeopardy, I don't. Okay, so Scott Jennings, he asked a great question. Of course, they had an answer, but the answer is total BS. Listen to this. Scott Jennings on CNN.
No. Remember she said,
I agree.
We have Trump coming and all the bad things about concentration of...
Oh, no, I'm wrong. It's not Scott Jennings.
No, that's
it's
Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary was just on Fox. He's on everything. He's on Fox. He's on CNN.
Yeah.
He's not like, he doesn't have any deals.
He's a Canuck.
They have him on everything. I'm sorry. So this is not Scott Jennings. It's Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank.
I think so. No. Remember she said,
I agree.
We have Trump coming and all the bad things about concentration of wealth. Americans appreciate the ability to pursue the American dream every day, and we do not push down on success ever. So, yes, Musk is rich. So what? Zuck.
I don't think
rich.
The issue is how
and
rich
everybody else comes to this country almost drowning in rivers or getting cut under barbed wires to get in here to pursue their dream. Why do we ever think that we should bash their success?
Actually,
what do you think about that?
Now listen.
But let me just say this. It is not about how rich they are.
Exactly.
Just to observe what he's
They're not rich enough, is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying that actually what got them there, Mark Zuckerberg, Sam Altman, Jeff Bezos, they all got to where they are because they came up with good ideas. They built good businesses.
Let's punish them.
And no. And they did so largely without having to do what they are doing now. The fact that they have to do it now, I think, actually is a change for them. They were not going to Washington themselves groveling toward the political leaders to try to keep their businesses afloat.
Letting people get rich. It's about not letting rich people control the political process and not having our politicians captured by those rich people such that they can't institute
but I just want you to know the country
and common sense laws to make sure that the people at the top don't abuse the people at the bottom. And our system in Washington is broken.
That's fair. It's all fair, but half the country's still wondering how Joe Biden got rich.
Yeah, okay, so here...
How did he get rich?
If Joe Biden got rich...
How did he get rich? Does anybody understand how that happened?
I actually think that, Kevin, your question about Joe Biden's legacy and how he will be seen is actually extremely important. Because I think it's not just Republicans who are asking the question.
Yeah, see, she notice how she pivoted away from that?
Yeah.
She didn't want, that's the anchor. She didn't want to get into that. And the guy in the background said, I don't care what book he wrote. It didn't make you millions of dollars.
They all write books, and that's what they always say how they made their money. You don't make Joe Biden, he's leaving office. I saw $90 million.
Yeah.
You don't, unless you've written the Bible and have rights to that, which is the best-selling book, you're not going to make that kind of money off of any book. I mean, $90 million. I mean, we all know how he made his money. The problem is not that these guys are rich.
He's a crook.
It's whose side they're on. That's what's bothering them the most, is they're on Trump's side. It's okay when the rich guys are like Zuckerberg and Bezos are with Biden and helping Biden. But as soon as they're helping somebody Republican or MAGA, all of a sudden they're a problem. That's what it really comes down to. It's not the money; it's whose side they're on.
The thing is, when Biden gave his farewell speech, he was the oligarchs, which is what they talk about in Russia. Like we have these things in Russia.
Oh,
they've had George Soros and all these others, funding them. That Bankman-Fried was funded the entire Democrat midterms last time around. Okay, a couple elections ago,
exactly,
with all the money from that CryptoCon he had going on. Okay, and he worked with Zelensky to do it. So I don't want to hear any of this nonsense. This is insane. All of a sudden, rich people are bad because some of the richest in the world, in Elon's case, the richest man who's ever lived in the world today, but of all time, is MAGA with Trump, and all of a sudden being rich is bad. And Kevin O'Leary
flipped them out because they're all going to Mar-a-Lago.
Well, Kevin O'Leary, he asked the best question. How did Biden get so? I almost said Biden. How did Biden get so rich? He got rich because he's a crook.
Exactly.
What they do with these Washington people, the books. This is what they do. They publish a book. They pay them a lot of money. No one buys the book, or the people behind them do bulk sales of it. Biden. The books of these people. It's a money laundering.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing.
Like Hunter's art.
Yes.
Biden is a full-on narcissist, and 100%. That is a personality disorder you're born with. That personality disorders. I remember when I was seeing a therapist a long time ago, and she said to me, the difference between a personality disorder and a mental disorder is a mental disorder you can fix with medication, and like bipolar or depression. Yeah. Personality disorders are not fixable. They are born that way, and they will never change. So if you know somebody like that has any kind of personality disorder, narcissism or whatever it is, I don't know all of them. She said they cannot be rehabilitated. They cannot change. It's in their DNA. And Biden is this kind of person because no matter how bad it is, he could go into a building, lay explosives on camera and come out and push a detonator and blame somebody else. Mm-hmm. That is the kind of guy he is. He takes zero responsibility for anything he's done. He's always the hero. Yep. He's the good guy. Everything he does is wonderful. He has destroyed this country, or tried to. And the damage he has done in the last 4 years. And then he'll go on TV and act like he's the best thing since sliced bread. And his final message, which I did not watch, but I saw it on X, some clips, all he did was bash Trump and Elon and warn the country. This guy weaponized the DOJ against his political enemies, went after parents that were in front of pro-life people in front of abortion centers, had them imprisoned, went after parents. This guy used the DOJ as his personal police force to go after people he didn't like. He's totally corrupt. And he goes on TV and his final messages warning you about Trump. What kind of a person does that? Yeah. That is a person on a whole other level of narcissism that I can't even understand. Instead, he should have come out and said, I'm really grateful for the time I had here. This is a wonderful country. And I'm honored that I was elected president. And, whether you voted for me or not, I respect you as a blah, blah, blah. Something positive and good. But no, he has to leave bashing Trump because he knows that he's a crappy president, that everybody hates him, and he has got to deflect off of that and put all that onto Trump and try to make Trump look like the bad guy. Well, that's not going to happen. It used to work. It's not working anymore because Trump won in a massive vote, in a landslide victory. The people have spoken, and they hate that guy.
Well,
and I tell you, Biden, he cannot leave soon enough. 4 more days, and we're done.
I want you to think about that. Biden has, and I watched his speech. It was disgusting. Biden's been in Washington since Nixon. He doesn't have. He is as scummy can get. It is not. If you wanted to be scummy, you could not make yourself as scummy as Joe Biden. In the life he's lived. If you go and get Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell, I recommend the audiobook.
Who's scummier, him or Hunter? Or are they equal? Who do you think?
No, Biden. Biden's scummier. Biden's scummier.
Yeah, I agree. Because he's so corrupt.
Everything that Hunter has done,
is because
he's done it.
Yeah.
And worse, because he's had power.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you set out to be a scummy person, you would not be able to achieve the low-life scumminess that Biden has achieved. And here he is, and you watch his speech, and he is mentally ill because you watch that speech of his. He thinks he is a great man.
He does.
He was a great senator and a great president. And
Brian, he lies about everything. He lies about his resume. He's always been that way.
There's one thing he's accomplished other than being a thief and being corrupt. There's one thing he accomplished in all of his time in Washington. And I'm serious about this. I'm not saying this is positive or anything else. But do you know what the one thing he's responsible for?
Mm-mm.
And and this is the only thing other than being a thief and corrupt and working out deals to steal money from the government and taking kickbacks and bribes and all this stuff.
Other than all that.
Other than that. But I'm talking about, from like a legislative leadership thing. He's responsible for gay marriage. He got gay marriage done. And that's to gays, that's a big deal. But he remember he tricked Obama into Obama when Biden was vice president. Obama was vocally opposed to gay marriage.
Yeah, because he's Muslim and they're against it.
And then Biden was giving an interview and said that Obama was in favor of gay marriage when he wasn't.
Right.
And the gays got so excited and he embarrassed Obama into coming out in favor of it.
Yep, I remember.
And I don't know what his game was with that, but he got gay marriage made the law of the land, Joe Biden. Other than that, he doesn't have anything that he's done. But I'll tell you this, you watch that speech of his, he thinks he is one of the greatest people to ever be in Washington, D.C. politics since this country's founding in 1776. That's how sick he is. Now, his son, Hunter, Hunter's could be in a lot of trouble here. Now, Hunter got pardoned, and I told you guys when Hunter got pardoned, don't worry about it. This guy's been screwing up and doing crime his whole life. He doesn't even know what he's doing is criminal. He's been criminal his whole life. Spoiled kid. No matter what he did, Daddy was there. He tests positive for cocaine when he's in the Navy. Daddy takes care of it. They find a crack pipe in his rental car. Daddy takes care of it. Daddy's retired, okay, in a couple of days. He's not going to be able to help him anymore. It's being reported that Hunter Biden lost millions of dollars in his artwork in his house in California from the fires. I bet you he's got all that garbage that he made insured, and Hunter's about to commit insurance fraud possibly. And to collect millions of dollars from his worthless, his art's not worth money anymore.
Yeah, because it sucks.
It always sucked, but it was only worth money because it was a way to bribe the dad legally. If you bought his art, you got a favor from Joe.
Right.
So the art was worth a lot of money when his dad was president.
Right.
Because it was just a scam for Joe to take bribery money. Now that his dad's not president anymore after Monday at noon, the art's worthless. And just coincidentally, it burned up all of a sudden. I promise you it's insured. And I hope he files a claim and it gets investigated. And, you can go to prison for
Yeah, but if it was in the path of the fires, the whole city burned down. They're not going to be able to prove that he did anything.
This would be my guess, okay?
He did have a house in Malibu.
I don't think the art was there. This is the deal. People that do insurance fraud like Hunter Biden, they try to work both angles, right? If they're doing insurance fraud like this, they put a claim saying the art was destroyed, but then they try to sell it on the black market and make money off of it that way too. If he files an insurance claim for his art that he made with the nose straw, pen, the brush, and all that crap, chances are he still has that
cocaine
art.
Straw.
Yeah, he still has that art probably. And if they can find that he did insurance fraud, he'd be up the river, and Daddy wouldn't be there to bail him out. Now, DeSantis today announced his nominee to replace Marco Rubio in the Senate, the current Attorney General of Florida, Ashley Moody. Now, I know a little bit about Ashley Moody. She's our Attorney General. She is MAGA. She has stood with President Trump through the darkest of times.
Well, that's good.
So she is hardcore MAGA. She has always been with Trump. You guys can read up on her. She's very tight with Trump.
Well, then it sounds to me like she could be a possible running mate for for DeSantis because he's going to run.
You can't have both from the same state, remember. But I'm telling you, you can't do it. But he is working an angle. He could have picked anyone for that seat. And Ashley Moody is to me, it looks like that's who Trump wanted, right? Because if you notice, it's not just that she is 100% MAGA. Now, if she's done something that against Trump that's not MAGA, I don't know about it, and I'm open to be informed about it. But so far as I know, she's 100% MAGA, okay? And she's that same age group that Trump likes to pick because he's trying to have a bench of young people that don't age out of office and relevant down the road. He's picking
all young people.
He's picking young people because he's trying to build a MAGA legacy that's going to last for a long, long time. And we know Trump is pushing to have Vivek replace JD as the senator from Ohio. So it's very possible DeSantis did a favor to Trump by picking Ashley Moody. I haven't heard anybody talk about that yet. But out of everyone who wanted that and everyone he could have picked, based on what I know about, and again, I'm open for you guys to share something that I don't know about Ashley Moody. I'm always open to that, okay? But for him to pick somebody who is this MAGA when he's so in bed with the Republican establishment, he's working an angle. I don't know what his angle is.
Well, the angle is
but he's working
to get a favor in return.
He wants in with Trump.
If he put her in at Trump's request, then he's going to expect something in return for that. Or, like you said, to get in good with Trump. I haven't seen him at Mar-a-Lago. I haven't seen anything on X or anything of him being there. But once you see that, then you'll know he's back in the fold. It's trepidatious for Trump a little bit. Not that he's worried because he's not going to run again after this, but people felt so betrayed by DeSantis. I think
I do.
He can, people have short memories and politics makes strange bedfellows. And I think DeSantis is working to get Trump's endorsement. I don't know if JD is going to run for president. We don't know that. We're assuming, but he might not. He might go back into the Senate. Who knows? He's a young guy.
After he's vice president?
I think he will, but I don't know if he'll win. I mean, who knows? He's a good guy. I like him, but he's extremely academic.
Well, he won't go back to the Congress. Once you're out, you're out.
Yeah, but DeSantis is going to run for sure. Who else do you think is going to run in the primary in 2020? It's going to be Vance, let's assume, DeSantis. Trump's only going to endorse one.
It could be Christy Noem.
Maybe Christy Noem, yeah. I can't imagine Trump endorsing anybody but Vance.
It's going to be Vance unless Vance screws up, right? If something doesn't work out, in the next, couple of years.
Well, but Trump's endorsement is key.
But DeSantis
he's only going to endorse one.
DeSantis is running for president already. He's doing, he's done a lot of things. I don't want to get sidetracked into it, but he's doing a lot of things. And also today, Florida, we're so lucky to be in Florida. Florida is the center of all the politics now.
Absolutely.
Byron Donalds came out today. Byron Donalds, our congressman, he's going to run for governor. Didn't I tell you? I told you guys over a year ago that Byron Donalds was going to run for governor. He denied it. And a lot of you said, he's not going to. I said, I saw him speak at Turning Point. And when I saw him speak, I called you up, Kathy. While he was speaking, I said, he's running for governor of Florida after DeSantis. And it came out today that he is. And I don't know if we've ever had a black governor. There might have been one after the Civil War. Republicans appointed a lot of black people to be senators and governors and stuff to stick it to the Democrats.
To get a Florida history book.
But there might have been a black governor right after the Civil War, okay? But other than that, no. And my only thing about it is I'm going to vote for him. But Matt Gaetz is indicating he's going to run. So
that'll be an interesting
I cannot imagine Matt Gaetz running against Byron Donalds. That is a losing proposition. The Republican establishment hate Matt Gaetz like
I think
the plague. They would bring him down like that.
His political career's over. It's like over. Yeah. He made enemies with Kevin McCarthy, and as long as Kevin McCarthy's, even though he's not holding office, I still think he has a lot of juice. He's on Fox. He's hanging around. I think he still talks to Trump, and maybe Trump will do something with him. I'm guessing because he hasn't done anything yet, but that doesn't mean he's not going to bring him in. I don't think Matt Gaetz has a political future at all. I really don't. I think he's done. I think he made enemies with the wrong people. And as long as they're alive, they're going to make sure he never holds office again. And that means they won't give him the money.
The thing with Matt Gaetz, I know he went to One American News, but I cannot imagine that pays very much money.
I think that was a mistake.
And he may not have a ironclad contract. He would have been better. Matt Gaetz would, if he was going that route, Matt Gaetz would have been better joining the Blaze or even Right Side Broadcasting and partnering with them and, for equity and Right Side or Breitbart.
I think he would have been better.
Doing something like Tucker's doing.
I don't know.
Or Megyn Kelly.
There's something going on that they're not telling people. It's like he's tainted. And I don't know whether it's
I love him.
They know I like the guy, but
I love Matt Gaetz.
There's something that they know that we don't, because he went in that meeting with those senators and with JD Vance, and the next day he dropped out. Not only did he drop out of the AG race, he dropped out of Congress completely, which was shocking to me. And that tells me that something happened that they're like, you're over.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything of the allegations are true, but for some reason, they are like, this guy's political baggage.
Well,
and
Kathy,
they
you know
are
what
not
happens?
They obviously.
Listen, go ahead. What were you saying?
They obviously don't see a future. He's a young guy. He's popular. So for them to drop him like that, it must be bad.
Well,
you know what I mean?
What happens sometimes, there are Republicans that are very popular, that the establishment will do everything they can do to stop them. And there's three. There's three very popular, great Republicans that we all like, that the Republican establishment has decided are done forever, right? Matt Gaetz, Carrie Lake. They don't want her to be ever elected. I'm not saying these people are not electable. I'm saying the Republican establishment has decided these three people, I'm going to tell you, they'll do whatever they can do to stop.
JD Vance now.
Well,
it's the new
he's vice president. But no. But you know what I'm talking. You know what I mean? The old guard, and they destroy these people, and they have like the Republican establishment controls Arizona, so they stop. So Matt Gaetz, Carrie Lake, they will do whatever they can do to stop her. If she's going to run again, it cannot be in Arizona. And they did this years ago to Sarah Palin, who was very popular. They were afraid of Sarah Palin, and they went after her, and they destroyed Sarah Palin. Okay, they ran her out of the they made her they got her to resign from governor, and she's never been electable since. Okay, and they tried to do this to Trump, but Trump's too popular and rich, so they couldn't do it. Carrie Lake, Sarah Palin, and Matt Gaetz aren't at the Trump level, so they're easier for them to handle. But they don't like the political establishment don't like these popular people that we love, and they always try to bring them down.
I don't know if it's that or like I said, I like Matt Gaetz.
I love him,
but there's something they know. And I personally believe, and you guys might get mad at me for saying this, but this is my belief, that when he had that meeting with the senators, they had something, and they showed it to him, and that was it.
Maybe.
They're like, that we got something here, and you got to drop out.
It's possible.
It was because it was just very abrupt and very definite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could be wrong. He might run for governor. Possibly he could win. I don't know if he could beat Byron. They both are very well liked here. Very well liked. But I personally feel his political career's done.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing, of course, he'll never sell you a roof you do not need. If you need just a simple repair, he'll do that. He works on every type of structure and works with every type of material. But there's two things that I want to tell you guys about. One, okay, he covers the entire state of Florida, which is good for you to know. Also, he's not just a roofer, he's a contractor. And under Florida law, because he's a contractor, he's able to deal directly with your property insurance company, whether it's homeowners or commercial insurance, on the cost of the repair or the replacement of your roof. And let me tell you, that speeds things up tremendously. He also can handle the job of any size. If it's a single-family home or an apartment or condo community with over 200 buildings, he can handle it. Okay, and he'll gladly do it. Give him a call. Now, I'm going to give you his cell phone number. This cell phone number, you can call or text. This is his actual cell phone number. And every time you hear me talk about Tom Laporta and I give you his number, I don't have anybody's number memorized anymore. I don't even know your number, Kathy. I just have you in my phone book on my phone.
I know yours, but I don't know Emily's.
I barely know my own phone number. It's crazy. But so whenever you hear me give out Tom Laporta's cell phone number, what I do is he and I text pretty much every day. We're friends. So I go to my most recent text message from Tom. He was texting me this morning when I was on the air. And I just pull up his text and open up the info so I can get the phone number, and I read it right off my phone. I'm going to give you Tom's cell phone number, but this is not the number on the website. His website's LaportaRoofing.com. That's the main office number. You can bypass that, get directly to the owner, Tom Laporta himself. He only gives his cell phone number out to our listeners, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. For Tom Laporta of Laporta Contracting and Roofing. Make sure you tell him Brian Craig sent you. All right, we're going to take our last break, and we'll be right back.
Is your home or office cluttered with unwanted junk? Say goodbye to the mess with Junk Be Gone. Junk Be Gone is a family-owned and operated junk removal service, proudly serving Central New Jersey. Whether it's old furniture, appliances, yard waste, even construction debris, Junk Be Gone handle it all. From single-item pickups to full-scale cleanouts, the Junk Be Gone friendly team does all the heavy lifting so you don't have to. And the best part, they recycle or donate whatever possible, keeping your space and the planet clean, fast, affordable, eco-friendly. What more could you ask for? Same day and next day services available with transparent upfront pricing and no hidden fees. They're fully insured for your peace of mind too. Call Junk Be Gone right now at 732-619-3252. That's 732-619-3252. Or visit junkbegoneusa.com for your free estimate. And let's make your junk be gone. From award-winning author Cindy Patterson comes your next must-read book, An Unlikely Arrangement, Brides of Biltmore, available on Amazon. It's 1902, and Abigail Dupree is just a breath away from societal ruin. A desperate bargain threatens her dreams of having a happily ever after, but she makes a decision. To save her family from financial disaster, Abigail becomes part of a deal she never wanted. But when Garrett Behringer, a man with his own secrets, arrives to chaperone her, everything changes. Their hearts are drawn together, but honor and duty stand in the way. Will Abigail risk everything for love, or will the mistakes of her past condemn her future? Find out when you read An Unlikely Arrangement, Brides of Biltmore. Award-winning author Cindy Patterson brings readers a heartwarming story filled with romance, redemption, and faith, reminding us all that even in brokenness, there's beauty just waiting to be made whole. Available now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, hardcover, and Kindle Unlimited. An Unlikely Arrangement, Brides of Biltmore, from author Cindy Patterson. Sometimes the greatest love stories begin with an unlikely arrangement. What if a science experiment in your garage could change the fate of the entire planet Earth? From author Devin Farina comes a book the entire family will enjoy together. August Cole and the Intergalactic Race. Available on Amazon. Meet 11-year-old science genius August Augie Cole. He accidentally catapults the planet Earth into an intergalactic race against the universe's fiercest competitors. Armed with his quantum-powered racer, a brilliant sister who always has his back, and a team of genius friends from around the world, Augie's mission is clear: win the race or lose Earth forever. The competition? Alien civilizations with unimaginable technology. The stakes higher than Augie ever dreamed. From blazing across the Great Wall of China to speeding through the depths of the Pacific Ocean, his journey is filled with wild twists and breathtaking challenges. But to defeat the undefeated champions for 1,000 races, he'll need more than just science. He'll need heart, teamwork, and the courage to believe in himself. Perfect for readers who love epic adventures, STEM, and unforgettable heroes. August Cole and the Intergalactic Race is a thrilling journey that proves you don't need superpowers to be extraordinary. Order your copy right now on Amazon. August Cole and the Intergalactic Race, from author Devin Farina. And join the Intergalactic Race.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. So the inauguration, very exciting, is Monday. And it's so interesting how things have changed. In the old days, it used to be like GM and all those kind of companies. And surrounding President Trump are going to be they're freaking out over this. Last night, Biden warned about tech and all this stuff. All of a sudden,
that's why he did it, because these guys are affiliated with Trump. So he's got to warn you, they're all evil.
So
obvious.
So Trump is going to have sitting with him at the inauguration the top 5 tech guys, okay? Elon, of course, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, Sam Altman. He's the top guy with AI. Okay. And this one really blew me away. Su Chu, I think is his name, S-H-O-U, Su Chu. He's the chief executive of TikTok. So this thing about TikTok being banned, Trump's talking about doing an executive order to stop it. And
I think they should stop.
I've been watching some of these videos online. Some of you have probably seen them. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money on TikTok.
Yes.
And a lot of these, I saw one girl, she's a young girl, like in her 20s. And she just bought like a house that cost a few million. She bought like a $200,000 car. One of the reasons, and this is an interesting thing, the young vote went for Trump, and Charlie Kirk played a big role in that, no doubt about it, and others, we've talked about, but it's more than just that. A lot of young people, because of influencers, right? They're rich from doing these types of things. And when you are, all these influencers that make 6 and 7 figure a year income, and a lot of them are not even, they're barely 20. Some of them are even younger, right? They are, they don't work for Instagram. They don't work for TikTok. TikTok pays them. They're 1099 employees. Mm-hmm. So I shouldn't say employees. They're like independent business people. They get 1099s.
Yeah, they're self-employed.
Yes, they're self-employed, which means they have to pay taxes on all that. And let me tell you,
it's better than having them sit in mommy and daddy's basement.
Well, what's happened is
doing nothing.
Well, what's happened is this. Okay, that's how I operate.
They're contributing.
Okay, yeah. I'm a 1099 person. I don't work for anybody. I don't work for the radio station. I got a deal with Steve. He pays me, but I'm self-employed. I have my own production company. Okay, and everything that I do is under the production company. So I get 1099s. And when you get a 1099, you're your own independent business person. Not only do you have to pay your income tax yourself right out of your pocket, because there's no deductions. You get the money, you got to pay the income tax. You got to pay your payroll taxes too, on top of income tax. And in Florida, we don't have a state income tax, but a lot of states have state income taxes. If you're in New York, you got a city income tax in the city of New York, right? So a lot of these young people are making a lot of money. They're independent business people, and they're they're responsible for a lot of taxes, and that makes them conservative because when people tend to become conservative when they start paying taxes. So a lot of these young people were flipped into MAGA because they have these huge taxes, okay? And this thing with TikTok that's going on, I'm hearing these stories of how much some of these young people are making on TikTok.
Oh, they make millions.
I don't know how. I would like to know how many TikTok millionaires there are. There's a lot.
It's not just the money they make. Okay, I'm on TikTok, and it's a choice. If you don't want to be on it, don't be on it. If you have concerns, but I'm on it. I like it. I use it for my art business. And I follow like this one makeup influencer, Michaela. She's got 16 million followers, and she's, she moved to LA. She's from Boston, right? She's huge. She started off small, like doing TikToks in Boston from home. She worked at Sephora. Now she does her own makeup. She even has her own makeup line. I bought some of her eyeshadow. And She moved to LA. She's going to celebrity things. She got married. She bought a really nice house, all this stuff. It's not just money she's made. She is promoting products that people buy that help stimulate the economy. I bought one of her eyeshadow sets because I really liked it, and it was like $30, but I bought it because I liked it. It's their influencers. They influence people to spend money while they're earning money. That helps the economy. People go out and buy stuff. They buy online. They go on Amazon. They buy from her. They buy. It's business. It's, we're pro-business. Our party is pro-business. Trump is pro-business. And I think with TikTok, he sees it that way. He sees all these young people that are entrepreneurs that are making money, and he doesn't want to take away the way they make money and take that away from them. They are not going to make the same kind of money on Instagram. It has a totally different algorithm. It's not the same thing. So there are a lot of people that are very nervous that are going to lose a lot of money and their livelihood. And it's going to, I think, have a big impact. I've bought things off TikTok. A lot of people shop on TikTok. I'm wondering if Jeff Bezos has something to do with the TikTok ban, because it is definitely hurting, chipping into Amazon's business. Yeah. I know QVC, they're having a lot of trouble. I'm not saying they have the connections that Bezos does, but there are businesses that are being hurt by TikTok because people are shopping on TikTok now. Temu, these are Japanese companies. Chinese companies. But the things that are being bought on TikTok are from American stores. Okay. They're American. I don't know where they're made, but they're paid for from American stores, American companies, things like that. But I wonder if Bezos, when this all started with TikTok a year or two ago, if he had some influence over this, because it has definitely hurt Amazon.
Well, yeah, and not all the people that
maybe that's why he's cozying up to Trump to get him to keep this ban going.
And not all the people on TikTok are millionaires or earning six figures. A lot of people, though, a lot of young people are on TikTok and they're making what they would be making working. Like when we were that age, I was always working in broadcasting, but my friends were working like at the mall. They, instead of having a job at the mall, they're on TikTok. They're making what they would make at the mall or more.
I've bought
and they don't have to leave their house.
I've bought books off TikTok that I would normally buy on Amazon. So what do you think about my theory?
No, I think you're probably right.
That Bezos is buddying up to Trump to get him to keep this ban in place.
I think you're right. And, they'll
have their own selfish motives.
Mr. Wonderful, had a group of investors to buy TikTok, which they're not selling to them, but he's been hanging out with Trump a lot.
Yeah.
And I saw him last week on one of the cable shows. I can't remember. And I wish I could remember the number, but he wanted to buy TikTok. So he had the numbers on how much money is being generated in the American economy, just the American economy on TikTok.
Exactly.
It was a number that I couldn't even write. If I had to write it down I'd have to count for where the commas go because there were that many digits.
It contributes a lot to the economy.
It's like shutting down.
Young people are on it.
It's like shutting down a sector of the economy, and it would hit a lot of people hard. It really. I know it's crazy because. And a lot of us don't realize it because we're older, and it's mostly younger people that are
all the young people
making money.
Shop now.
But I got to tell you something. When I first got into broadcasting, none of this stuff existed. The internet didn't exist. If I was 18 with everything that's going on now, I never would have gotten in broadcasting. I would have been doing what I'm doing now, podcast, YouTube, and stuff like that. And you see how the malls are dying. They're dying for a lot of reasons. Some of the ones we're talking about with the online shopping, of course. But why would you go, if you were a young person today, what would you do? Start a TikTok store or go work at some retail store? Not me. I'd start the TikTok store.
The thing now, the more I think about it with Bezos, I think this is his whole motivation. Think about it, okay? If you're on TikTok, the big thing now, and I almost bought one, but I didn't yet. The big thing now on TikTok are these ice makers, okay? I see, if you're on TikTok, you know what I'm talking about. All these videos of people, there's people that do live streams They're like QVC.
Yeah.
And they do them from home.
Yeah.
And they sell products.
Yeah.
Ice makers, clothes.
I've seen people
and they're
do
like
that.
their own
Yeah.
QVC host. That's
People do
why
that on
QVC's
Facebook
in
too and
trouble.
stuff. Yeah.
And the new thing now is these big ice makers. And I see them all the time. And somebody will be doing a live stream and they'll have a link in the bottom to buy the ice maker. And they're like doing drop shipping themselves. And these ice makers are on Amazon. I Googled it and I looked, it's on Amazon and they're cheaper on TikTok.
Yeah.
Amazon is worried about TikTok because of this. And Jeff Bezos sees that TikTok is a real threat to him in the future and can make Amazon obsolete. I promise you, it's already hurting these other online retailers. And that is why he's butting up to Trump.
Whoever would have thought that Walmart...
He wants this ban to stick.
Yeah, whoever would have thought that Walmart would have competition, right? And then Amazon came along and Walmart started for the first time closing stores, right? And
now the TikTok shop is hurting.
I can't tell you the last time I went to a Walmart and bought something. It's very rare. I mean, because like we needed a toilet seat in our guest bathroom. There's 2 Walmarts within a mile of our house.
And a Lowe's and Home Depot.
Yeah, I said, Kathy, can you just order it online? I don't have the time to run to the store. I'm busy. Got to do a podcast, or something. You know what I mean? And it's cheaper, And I think
now people are going
I think
to
you might be
TikTok.
right about Bezos. Bezos is looking at the long term that Amazon has a lot of competition, and it's not just TikTok. There'll be other things like TikTok that come up to put him out of business.
I think that is his motivation. I think it's not about.
Blockbuster. Who would have thought?
Bezos,
Who would have thought?
Amazon.
Who would have thought when Netflix started and you were getting 3 CDs at a time in the mail, they'd put Blockbuster out of business. Now I want to thank all of our Patreon supporters for their support of the program. And if you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the description of this and every episode. And Patreon supporters, you do have access to commercial-free editions of all of our podcast episodes, okay? And our top Patreon supporters get a live on-air thank you shout-out on every episode. So the names you'll hear now are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Mike P, Carlos, Paulette, Dale, John, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Richard, Alice, K-Mac, LeeZep, Shawna, Constance, George, Brandon, Rob and Trish Wilkerson, Christy R, and John S. These are our top Patreon supporters. Thank you for your support. Yeah, you sent me. You gave me this article, Kathy, about the people self-deporting. I saw a guy today on X. He's in the country illegally, and he's holding his baby that was born here, like his anchor baby. And he wants the government to pay him to self-deport back to wherever he's from with his American anchor baby.
How is okay? Well, this is an article in Newsweek, and I'll put it in your Facebook group. Tom Homan is because he's threatening. He's going to go after these people. Quickly, a lot of people are going back home on their own. So is Tom Homan, obviously if he goes to a center where they're housing migrants and he rounds them up and puts them in buses and drives them, we got to pay for that, for the food, the housing, the shelter, whatever, to transport them, the gas, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So if somebody is a migrant here illegally, is he going to give them any, is he going to have a system, I don't know, where they apply for aid to go back?
No.
Or is he like you're on your own?
No, they'll take you back. They'll fly you back, drive you back, whatever. He'll
just come and that's the way
they'll give you one-way transportation
Instead
out.
of giving you obviously money, he'll just say, I'll come pick you up.
Yes. They're not going to give money.
No, that makes no sense.
They're not going to give him money. That's crazy.
Yeah, why would he do that? Exactly.
Yeah. We're going to find out next week, but I'm imagining...
I can't wait.
Next week, we're going to see the first rounds of deportations, and it's going to be very high profile and big.
I was just reading in an article where they're turning a hotel in New York or somewhere into a housing place for migrants. And I said, well, that's just great because Tom will just know where to go. He'll just pull up to the front door with a bunch of Greyhound buses and load them up. Well, I mean, round them all up, put them in one building.
Everybody's got this.
Makes it easier.
Everybody's got this list of stuff Trump has to do on the first day. There's too much to do everything in the first week. But
oh my gosh,
but
busy week.
One order I'd like to see him give which he just has to give the order, is order the Army Corps of Engineers to get down to the southern border and finish the wall immediately.
He will.
And
I think he's going to close the border on day one.
The border with Mexico should be closed. And
that might be his first thing he does.
I can't remember the name of the movie. It has a really weird name. The guy that does Yellowstone, those shows.
Kevin Costner.
No. The writer. Tyler Sheridan.
Yeah.
He did these movies. He did this movie with Emily Blunt, which was kind of strange, and James Brolin's kid. I always forget Josh Brolin. And it's really good. It's about the drug cartels at the southern border. And they were crossing the southern border to and from Mexico. I can't believe how many people, and they filmed it at the actual border crossing. Yeah. I can't believe how many people are coming and going. All crossings with the Mexican border should be shut down. There should be there is nothing we need from there. Okay? The entire border should be completely shut down until we get this squared away.
Now, Trump, I read, and I sent you the screenshot, they reported yesterday that he has hired a private security group to handle his inauguration.
Yeah, I read that article.
On top of the Secret Service. And it said they're not going to take any chances. And it is going to be very highly secured with Secret Service and a private security firm that will handle that, which is great. I think the bulk of his money for that inauguration should go to security. They're also having some great performances.
Well, the U.S. government's paying for this private security, I read. It's just for the inauguration, it's over $8 million for the private security company.
Fine, good. Yeah. I'm willing to pay for that. I mean, he needs it, and it should be very safe and secure.
The Secret Service aren't up to... I'm wondering...
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Any of you that have been to Trump rallies have seen this. There's a private security firm that Trump uses at all the Trump rallies, and it's men and women. They all look like Marines, okay? And the women, they look like fembots. You would not mess with these women, okay? And they wear like...
Not the ones at the shooting, obviously.
No. But you see them at the Trump rallies.
Fumbling with
a lot on the perimeter from the Secret Service, and they're always wearing like gray shirts, and they're really good.
I'm excited about next week after he's in. We're going to hear... It's going to be executive order after executive order. It's going to be nonstop reporting on him, the executive orders being signed. Like the first week, breaking news on Fox. It'll be every 5 minutes.
It's going to be crazy.
Executive order news. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun.
This week, how many times have I done the radio show from home, my home studio this week? 3, 2? I've lost track.
3.
This was,
tomorrow you're going.
I have to go to the radio station tomorrow. Yeah. But because I have a meeting there, but I'm going to be a guest on someone else's radio show it's going to be at the radio station. We're recording it, so I got to do it at the radio station. So at 9:30 tomorrow, so I have to go there to do that tomorrow. Yeah. But I've been doing the radio show from home pretty much all week. I went to the radio station on Tuesday.
Yeah,
I know I went Tuesday, but anyway, The show goes by much faster for me doing it from home.
This was my idea, by the way.
It's
everybody.
I've
been bugging Brian for years to do this.
It's much. The radio station is an hour drive in the morning. I didn't realize 50 minutes. Okay, it takes me. I didn't realize it took me so long to get there. It takes me 50 minutes to get there when there's no traffic, and the way home an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours or more to get home. And I realized I did the radio show from home on Monday, I think, right? And then the next day I had to go to the radio station because I had some meetings, and I could tell when I was on the air that day at the radio, I was a little more tired because the driving makes me tired.
Me too.
I don't know how it makes you guys, and it's especially in the mornings when I got to prepare and everything else. But I've been enjoying doing the radio show from home. And everyone does their shows from home. I mean, no one goes to the places anymore. I realized this Christmas week. I was on the air on New Year, and I'm like the only person that's on the air in person at the radio station ever live. Everybody else does it from their office, I was talking to one guy the other day.
I told you everybody does it from home now.
And I said, "Where do you do your show from? Your office?" I'm like, "No, my house." I was like, "Really?"
Does.
And I said, "I never would have known." And you've been telling me to do it from home for years.
I said, I think you're the only person that actually goes to a radio station anymore.
Well, I like going to the radio station.
I know, you're old school.
I'll still go to the radio station, you know. The longer it goes on, I'll probably go less and less as time goes on, but I'll probably go at least once a week.
It's mainly the drive. Like, when the radio station was closer to our house, it was like a 15-minute drive for you. That was not a problem. But it's an hour away. And then after, you have to go to some sponsors sometimes. You get up at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I could see the drive was taking a toll on you.
Yeah, it was.
And yesterday, you said to me, I don't know how I did this, because you did the show from home and then you immediately had to do other work. And you sat down at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon after working for hours, and you said, I don't know how I did this before with the driving. I said, you were killing yourself. That's
yesterday, I had a 14-hour day, but I finished at 3:30. It would have been like a 16-hour day with the drive.
That's definitely happening.
And I don't know how to.
And the Patreons, give another shout out to them, because their donations helped. Brian had to get new equipment, a new phone system. That has a monthly fee. We have to pay for that. That was an upgrade, and that's because of you guys allowed that to happen. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I had to get a phone system and everything else. And you know, the somebody left me this comment on YouTube. Well, they moved the radio station from where you were, you know. And I was like, no, I'm not on the radio station I used to be on with Steve Kane. Steve and I used to be on AM 1470.
Right.
AM 1470 was bought and sold like a couple years ago, and we're not on the AM anymore. We're just on FM. So we're on the radio with a new company.
Oh, I didn't know you were just on FM.
Yeah, we haven't been on AM for a year or two.
Wow.
And so no, we're not. It's not the same radio station. We're with a new radio station. We've been with them for a few years now, but our old AM, we're not on the AM anymore. We're just on We're on 8 FM radio stations here in Florida. So it's not that the radio station moved. The radio station that I was at no longer exists, and I'm at a new radio station, and they just happen to be an hour away. And I was surprised. Management at the radio station, they were listening today. I was talking to them. They did not know I was not at the radio station until they got there today. They told me. They didn't know.
And you had said to me, you're getting more callers, and the sound's better, and so that's good. And you said the show's moving quicker, and
the show
more callers are coming in.
The show's moving quicker. There's no. It seems to go by.
That's good. You want
faster
a
for
show
me.
that's faster.
The time goes by faster. The 3-hour show every morning goes by quick every day for me.
Right.
But it's going by a little faster.
No, I think that's good. A 3-hour show is a long show, and you don't want people listening, or even for you to be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, it's better when it's fast paced and it's over, and you're like, wow, that was like quick. Like, that was you know what I mean?
I know. Believe me,
it's better for everybody.
I know people that do radio shows that are less than 3 hours, and it sounds like they're 12 hours.
Yes,
they're terminal.
You know, you want people like looking at their watch, like, when
exactly.
Not that your show ever was.
Now, I want to talk about Dr. Philip Appleton and the laser away pain treatment. You know, the laser away pain treatment. I can't say enough about it. It is a miracle. And, you know, I tell you guys sometimes I thought aches and pains were part of growing older, because I remember my grandparents were always in pain, all of my grandparents. And my grandparents all died like in the 80s, okay? So Dr. Appleton and the laser away pain treatment weren't around back in the 80s. And that's why they were in pain all the time. If you go see Dr. Appleton, you won't be like my grandparents in your aches and pains. And and this is true, I do not take a single prescription medication.
No, that's true.
I don't take a single prescription medication, and I will not take a pain pill. Okay, that is a prescription pain pill. I would not take a chance on taking something like that. And so before I met Dr. Appleton, if I was in pain, I was in pain, and my knee had been hurting, and I just thought, well, I'm getting older now. That's life. I'm getting up there. You know, this is the future. And then I met Dr. Appleton, and when I met Dr. Appleton the first time, we had a guy from the sales department. He says, "Oh, Brian, do you have any like injuries or pains you're suffering from?" I said, "Yeah, my knee hurts like hell." And he's like, "Oh, well, we got this guy," and he told me about Dr. Appleton. He's got this laser treatment. He's like, "Well, you want to go in and get the treatment?" And I said, okay, I've had this pain for 20 years, and I met with Dr. Appleton. He explained to me the laser. I was telling this to Dr. Appleton the other day. He when I first went, he explained the treatment, and I'm like, there's no injections, no shots, no medication, no surgery. You do it right here in the office. There's no downtime. It's 100% painless. Okay, doc, whatever. I'll try it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and
too good to be true.
You know, and I'm like, give me a break. And I did it, and the next day, boom.
Yeah.
The pain was, and not only was the pain gone, it has not returned, and it's been over 2.5 years. And since then, he's rid me of pain a total of 7 times. From one time was arthritis, mostly injuries, because I'm always hurting myself. So, guys, the Laser Way pain treatment, it works. It's 100% painless. Appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome. I'm going to give you Dr. Appleton's number. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com.
I tell you, if you could label this week, it would be the long, long goodbye. I have never seen anybody say goodbye so many times. Is this normal? I just put on C-SPAN the Commander-in-Chief farewell ceremony. I didn't even know that was a thing. Did Trump have a farewell ceremony?
No, that was different.
Do other presidents?
I don't remember a farewell ceremony like this.
This might be a new thing they came up with.
Bill,
I've never seen anybody leave office and have such a long goodbye. His biggest regret in life, out of all the horrible things he's done, will be that in his mind, by the way, that he did not, that he gave up his seat to Kamala.
Yeah, he thinks he could have won.
He totally regrets it.
He thinks he could have beat Trump.
He absolutely thinks he could have beat Trump. He regrets it now. And he really believes that he would have won if he ran against Trump.
That's true.
That's going to be his biggest regret.
That's true. Well, listen, we are out of time, but we'll be back next time. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. Thanks for tuning in. We will talk to you next time.